Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to session 6 of 15 about getting you into your new job. And today we're going to be thinking about applying. We've done our job searching. We've got our basics cover letter. We've got a CV. We can move on finally to applying for a job, the exciting bit. So, first step, unless you're applying through LinkedIn or perhaps a job aggregator, the first step is to register. So you find the job, you register on the website, the career portal as they're often called. Make sure you use a professional looking email address. It's important because you want to look professional. Make sure it's one which you know that you will keep after you graduate. You don't want to be in a situation of losing your access to your career portal at a point where you haven't finished the job application process. And one which you know the password to and you will remember it, or you've written it down somewhere securely, because you don't want to be in a position of getting a message and then not being able to get back onto the portal. Obvious things, but just be aware of them. When you're going through your application process, you will probably find questions that you haven't put into your application database, your document. When you find these questions, then put the answers into the application form and put them into your database so that you've got them for next time. A small but obvious point. We then come to what most application forms have got in them, and that is open questions. These are the sorts of questions where they say, tell us why you're right for the job, or give us an example of when you worked in a team or led a team, or what are your strengths and weaknesses, or why do you want this job, or words around those types of questions. Some are competency questions, some are strengths-based questions, some are motivation questions. They all need slightly different approaches to answering, and it's worth getting advice as to exactly how to do that. For example, if it's a competency question, you will want to answer with a STAR model answer: situation, task, activities, results. Don't forget that competency questions need that specific format in order to answer them successfully. So again, if you need some help, find the right person who can give you some guidance on that and help you with the content, because it's not easy to get these questions right. So draft your answers, get someone with experience to look at them, because you can learn a lot from somebody like that. Always write your answers in a Word document or similar and then paste it into your application form. Never write your answer straight into the application form. You never know what can go wrong. Your browser might crash, your network might crash, your laptop might crash. You might hit the wrong button on your browser and end up back where you started and the application form didn't save it. Another thing that's quite common is that you have to keep doing something on the application form for 10 minutes or whatever, otherwise it times out and logs you out. If it logs you out, then you've lost your content. So always put it into a document that you've got control of, keep saving it, etc. You can spell check it, you can move the paragraphs around, you can do everything that you need to do, and only then paste it into your application form. Don't do what I've done and lose it. And put your answers into your job application database, your document, ready for next time, because you can be fairly sure you're going to be asked, tell us about a time you worked in a team, quite often as you apply for jobs. So don't forget to save things like that for next time. Okay, so you've done the basic stuff, the boring stuff that you've been able to copy out of your application database, your name and address and your telephone number and the contact details of your university and your degrees and your modules and your A levels and your O levels and all the other things, the GCSEs, sorry, showing my age there, all all the things that are very basic and you've already captured in your job application database. You've written the answers to the open questions. If you've had a chance, you've uploaded your CV, you've attached that to it. If you've got a chance, you attach your cover letter to it. Cover letters are a great way of giving them some more information about you, so don't ignore the opportunity to attach a cover letter if you can. Don't forget you will tailor it to the job. So you tailor it to why I want the job. You tailor it to why I'm right for the job, why I want to work for you. So all these 3 basic questions that your cover letter will talk about each time you apply will be different each time. There'll be a lot of commonality, but the detail around the edges will be different. So don't forget to attach a cover letter if you're able to. So you've checked everything, double checked everything. You've checked your open questions, you're comfortable with them. You know what your email address is, you know what your password is, all those sorts of things. You can hit submit. It's a brilliant feeling. Hit submit and it's gone. And then you can wait to see what happens next. Not quite finished. Update your application spreadsheet. Yes, don't forget to do that. Date you did it. You might even want to write down what email address you used. I don't know. If you're using different email addresses for different applications, you will. But if you're just using one for all of them, then that's possibly less important. But do update your application spreadsheet so you know where you're at. Now, what happens next? You go into a range of online tests and interviews and all the rest of it. Some of these you might be invited to almost immediately because your application form will be processed automatically. Artificial intelligence comes into play, and you could be invited to do an online test within a couple of minutes. I've seen it. Alternatively, it could be a couple of weeks, and I've seen that too. So don't worry if you don't hear straight away, but be ready to respond almost immediately. That's when it gets exciting. And that's what we're going to move on tomorrow. We're going to move on and think about online tests. So, applying. Make sure you've got an email address that's sensible. Make sure you've got open question answers that you're happy with. Make sure everything's checked. Hit apply, and let's see what happens next. Okay, talk soon. Bye.